What is the doctrine of separation of power? What are the major provisions in the Indian Constitution which support this doctrine? So, this question has having two facets. First, we'll have to describe the doctrine of the separation of power, and second, we'll have to prove it with the constitutional verification and authenticity. So, Montesquieu gave the doctrine that the separation of power, it talked about divisions of the legislative, executive, and judicial functions of the government. Constitution of India embraces the idea of separation of power in an implied manner. That is, the Constitution does not directly refers to the separation of power, but the articles are in such a way that implications, the meaning, the impacts, the influences of these articles are in such a way that they can be understood in a manner or as a context or as a function of separation of power, specifically between three organs of the government. And these three organs are: first is the executive, second is the legislature, and third is the judiciary. So in order to run a smooth democracy with a proper governance, there needs to be a combined as well as a separation of power between the three organs, that is the legislature, judiciary, as well as the executive. Montesquieu gave the doctrine of separation of power where he talked about divisions of the legislative and executive things. Secondly, Article 15, states shall take steps to separate the judiciary from executive. That is the one of the articles of the directive principle of the state policy, that state will have to take steps for the separate judiciary from the executive. Article 121 and Article 211, that is 211, judicial conduct of a judge of a Supreme Court and High Court cannot be and can never be discussed in the Parliament and the state legislature. That gives a kind of an respect and kind of an autonomy to the judges, that is, they will not be questionable in the legislature houses. Article 53 and 159 provides executive power of the union and the state shall be vested on the president and the governor. That means executive is exercising important power vis-a-vis legislature as well as judiciary. Article 122 and 212, where the president or the governor shall not be answerable to any court of for the exercise, that is, the executive is getting protection as well as equal status with the judiciary. And however, there are various exceptions in the Indian Constitution to the separation of power, and it can be seen that in most of the cases, as being the unitary federation, the quasi-federal in nature, center enjoys more power in comparison to states on these separation of power issues. So parliamentary form of government, usually legislatures pass the laws in the broad and skeletal form, while the flesh and the muscle is provided by the rules of the executive, and the implementation and the adherence is to be maintained by the judiciary, that if it is not being happening, then it should be made penalable. And who will decide that it is happening or not happening, or it is being followed or inducted or not inducted? It is the role of the judiciary. So all three are actually part of a single body. The only difference is the work at different time at different place with very different approach, and that is why a separation of power in the case of body, a separation of attention as well as nutrition is applied, so that every organ of the body grows rapidly as well as effectively. So what we need to do is we need to understand and we need to separate the power so that all of the body can function equally. There are certain independent regulators also. Setting up the independent regulators are the sources of autonomy, and given a kind of a separation of power can be said, because they independently regulate without the interference of any other body. So just like the RBI or SEBI. Judicial pronouncements that actually separates or that actually upholds the doctrine of the separation of power is in the Keshwanand Bharati case, where the doctrine of the basic structure was introduced. That is, the legislature is free to amend the constitution, is free to enact the laws, but subject is it cannot be done in such a way that it hampers the basic structure. And what is the basic structure will be decided and defined by the Supreme Court from time to time. So this was seen as a kind of an attempt, or rather a complete or distinguished attempt by the judiciary to kind of influence or to have an upper hand over the legislature. But because legislature is bound to the voted and the majoritarian politics, it is good to have a judiciary with having some or other kind of a little upper hand in the legislature and the executive, because at the end of the day judiciary has no vested interest, but executive or legislature have also some vested interest in them, and that is why judiciary can be given that much of liberty, but at the same time separation of power is very important so that all can function well in a coordinated manner for the betterment of the people of the India and the society as a whole. Cases like I.R. Kohliho versus State of Tamil Nadu and Indira Gandhi versus Vadnarayan observe that the separation of power in the case of India are completely different than that of the United States of America, because Indian Federation is a unitary federation, and here some or more kind of the separation or some or more kind of leverage is given to the center up on the states in order to maintain the social sanctity, social dignity, economic as well as the security alliance, because India is a land of diversity and variedness. We have different threats and challenges to the nationalism and national integration. So there is need to shift a power into center, just apart from a different from the other federations. What are the instruments of check and balances? These are legislative controls. So legislative control on judiciary and executive is Article 124(4) and Article 218, which provides for the removal of the Supreme Court. So it is a kind of a legislative control on judiciary. Similarly, on the executive, the executive is directly or indirectly is always under the control of the legislature, especially nowadays when the party enjoys a majority in the parliament. So the constitution provides these two Articles 75 and 64, the collective ministerial responsibility of Lok Sabha to be legislative assembly, and that is why they have to be answerable. These are the on executive. So the executive, that is the ministers, the cabinet of ministers are combinedly responsible to the Lok Sabha of the house. Similarly, executive control on judiciary. So although judiciary is independent, judges are appointed by the executive process, the files and the methodologies and etc. are being done by the executive. So their appointment is done by normal executive, but once it becomes judge, it appoints all other executives, all other officers in the name of the president, in the name of the crown, or in the name of the local seat representatives of the public in India. Judiciary control is on executive. Article 13 has provision of judicial review, so that judicial review has the power to review the executive action as well as the legislative action as well. In the case of Anand Bharti, that we have seen the structure of basic structure, and the Supreme Court held that kind of an upper hand, a kind of a control or kind of a checks and balance in the world of public administration over the legislature, so that it cannot pass in haste following the majoritarian rule or majoritarian voting method to be harming the other entities, even minorities, or the international relations as well. So government is an organic entity. It cannot be divided into watertight compartments. So doctrine of separation power is good at all, but it should be more interested. The focus should be on the competitive as well as cooperative, between the cooperation and competition for the welfare of the people among these organs, rather than be a watertight compartments and fight over the issues of control and management and superiority. This is all for today's video. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself. Jai Hind.